What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Sim Football video. Can't say Madden 13 like normal. I actually have All-Pro Football brought up. Ask you to bear with my voice, a little congested still, but ask that you take time out of your day to hit the like button for me, as well as subscribe to my channel. Of course, welcome your criticism of the video in the comments section. I'll play this at speed and ask you to follow me on Twitter. My username is ShutdownSafety. Want to use this play kind of to show a lot of the things that were lacking in the Madden series. And these are very small things, but when they all culminate in one play, you really see the nuances that make up simulation football. Now, this is a run with Roger Craig, of course. First thing I want to start out with is taking a look at this juke at the line. And this is predicated because I did not expect the fullback there, number 46, to pick up this block. So it was kind of a preparatory juke to get to the outside. But I want you to notice how, unlike in Madden, the entire defense is not reacting to this juke because it's not in their direct vicinity. Now, the defensive tackle there does because he's close enough to kind of have an impact on the play. But other than that, the entire defense does not react to a juke at the line of scrimmage. And, of course, we see that a lot in terms of Madden. Now, obviously, this was an animation-based game, but I want to talk about interactions in terms of blocking that show a realistic presence of speed, momentum, and weight. You get a great example here with John Mackey as he comes off the line, trying to block a linebacker, kind of engages from the side, and really just pushes him out of the play more than blocking him. However, when you have a cornerback come over, Mackey is able to kind of just shoulder him, run him up into the air, get leverage on him, and throw him into the ground. So out of a game that doesn't have physics-based implementation, to me it's critical that we see those different types of interactions. Other interaction I want to talk about is second-level blocking, something that Madden has really struggled with here. You see number 68 gets off the line, really doesn't have the best angle on his defensive tackle, and kind of just steers him away to open this lane up for Roger Craig to run through, but then immediately starts to the second level and looks for someone to block, and he's going to find Willie Wood here, and they have a pretty dynamic interaction as well. You can see he kind of gets the side of Willie, puts his hand out, and just kind of, hand fights him down the field, obviously knowing he's a larger man but lacks the speed to maintain a block on him. And you can see evidently Willie Wood will turn the corner eventually, but that block isn't going to be as successful as it would be if perhaps that was maybe a fullback trying to execute that block. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is running through a block, and this is something that, again, Madden has a problem with in terms of being able to maintain your balance, maintain your stability, and run off, not just your own players, but defenders as well. And when we see Roger Craig run through this, you're going to see the containment of the block being lost in the linebacker in the middle of your screen. And as that linebacker falls to the ground, he's going to reach out and kind of make a diving attempt at tackling me. And I realize there's a lot of motion shifting, there's a lot of warping here, but that's always been things that I've been more than willing to deal with in terms of keeping a game realistic and looking at football interactions and seeing that they've been respected. So when I can see kind of a reaching tackle made here, and the fact that Roger Craig has to slow his momentum, his feet stop, and he's able to kind of drive through, let me try to get back on him here, kind of drive through this tackle, I can respect what's being done here in a football sense. Now, of course, this interaction puts me in a pretty good perspective to be running into the back of Cliff Branch as he goes to block the other safety. But I have to interact with Branch as well. You can see, again, there's going to be a little bit of shifting and warping here, but I can accept that because I'm putting my hand out on the back of Cliff Branch and I'm steering myself off him so that I can run down the field. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is some pursuit and head tracking, which is done very well by Carl Banks. Go back and take a look. One thing I don't like is there really isn't a lot of foot planning in this example. You can see Carl Banks comes out of his stance, and then he's able to pretty seamlessly make a pretty tight turn in only one or two strides. I'd like to see maybe a shorter stride out of a player running a complete circle on the field. But nevertheless, he's not going to react to the juke. He's not going to react to the diving tackle attempt. He's not going to react to me running off Cliff Branch. He's going to maintain pretty good pursuit, one angle down the field, and watch Roger Craig the entire time. And head tracking to me is important when we talk about looking at a game and assessing what's going on. And you can see players interacting with each other in real time. It really lends itself to looking at a play as something more than a computer-programmed result. And you can see Carl Banks stares at Roger Craig the entire time. The important thing is Craig actually stops to look back at Carl Banks to see if he does have a good angle. Right there you see him look back, and of course Banks ends up making the tackle. Anyway, now, one of the other big problems we've continued to face with Madden is blocking being held. And the reason I'm bringing that up is you can see this is the 40-yard line. If we go back to the 20, you're going to see an interaction here that starts at the beginning of the play and basically goes the entire duration of it, even though it's 60 yards away from the action. You see number 76 kind of gets almost a double team block here on Upshaw, pushes him out of the play, and then holds this block, even though Upshaw has zero chance, really, of impacting this play, holds this block the entire time. You can see my quarterback stands there doing nothing, Jim Harbaugh, but you can see this block is a dynamic animation being played out, and then, of course, at the end, you're going to see kind of a little taunting that occurs, but to see a block held like this on a run play is pretty impressive, considering in Madden we have issues with blocks being held for seconds. So, obviously, ask that you guys watch this video, compare it to what you have in Madden, make your own videos, but if you don't, I will be back in the week with more, and appreciate your guys' time to check this one out.